Hello, everybody. Welcome to another game in the 1977 Chicago White Sox season replay. We are now at game 123. Give a quick recap of what has happened since the last time I did a video for this particular replay. The video we did was game 121 against the New York Yankees, and the Yankees, with 2 solo home runs, bested the White Sox by the score of 2-1. Game 122, unfortunately, was not so kind to the Sox. It was close, 1-1, but in the 6th inning, the Yankees erupted for 10 runs off of 3 different pitchers and blew out the Sox 13-1. And that dropped the Sox overall record now to what it is, which is 60-57. They are taking on the Orioles, who are 71-51. And since I'm doing a live broadcast, I'm not constrained by the length of time on my camera, so I can be a little more methodical and hopefully a little more, what do you call it? Hey, Steve, how are you doing? I know you're more of a history maker guy instead of a strat guy, but I do appreciate you chiming in during this COVID time. Glad to see you are, or hopefully you are doing well. I'm trying to get this live thing down. It's still a little tricky. I don't have the best camera set up, obviously, or quality, but I do what I can. And I want to show the cards and the dice and the score sheet as best I can. So this is game 123. Baltimore Orioles, first place in the American League East in the replay at 71-51. And on the mound for the Orioles will be Ross Grimsley, lefty. He was 14-10 in the replay. Cooking on the grill and watch. Well, I hope you're cooking hot dogs, because hot dogs and baseball kind of go together. Just got the announcement also from the Eastern League, the minor league season, minor league teams or whatever. The local team Richmond, their general manager, did a little quick video on YouTube saying the season was officially canceled, which was kind of obvious, but I guess they felt the need to do that. So anyway, unfortunately, no minor league games to go to this year, so maybe next year. We'll see how things turn out. All right, so let's go through the starting lineups very quickly. In fact, I got the wrong team out there. Let's get ahead of myself here. The Orioles it's not an inter-squad game between the Orioles. All right, so for the Sox, leading things off will be Ralph Garr in left, Alan Bannister at short, George Order at second, Richie Zisk in right, Lamar Johnson, the right-handed DH version, against the lefty Grimsley, with Oscar Gamble on the bench. Eric Soderholm is at third. He'll hit 6th. Chet Lemons in center, hitting 7th. Jim Spencer, first base, hits 8th. And Jim Essien, the catcher, will bat 9th. We'll go through the Orioles lineup in the bottom of the first. And since it's an Oriole game, I thought I'd bring out my orange dice, give myself an excuse to use those. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so the Sox trying to recover from that blowout against the Yankees. Steve, I don't know if you came on or when you actually started, but I was reviewing the previous game, and the Sox lost to the Yankees 13-1, giving up 10 runs in the 6th inning. 3 pitchers, Wilbur Wood, Bart Johnson, and Jack Cusick, all pitched in the 6th inning, and they couldn't stop the Yankees from scoring 10 runs. And took a 1-1 game, made it 11-1, ended up being 13-1. So the Sox are definitely licking their wounds, so to speak. So they're hoping for some better luck here on the road here at Memorial Stadium. Notice I do have the Play.com Al Wilson Stadium card here for Memorial Stadium. And we're ready to go. Hopefully everything will show up okay on camera. We shall see. I found it better to do the dice tray sideways, because we do it length and it cuts off some of the part of where I can do the cards. So hopefully this now works. We shall see. First batter of the game is Ralph Garr, left fielder. See what he does here. Lefty on lefty against Grimsley. And game 123 is underway. 6-4. 6-4 is a catcher X. Right off the bat is a catcher X. And I've got my cheat sheet for both teams defensively, so I don't have to look at their cards or anything. Dave Skaggs is catching tonight or today. He's a 3E1, so 3E1 for Skaggs, and remember it's super advanced fielding. 3E1, 3-11 is going to be a good play. A 3-11 is actually going to be a pop out. Now, will it be an error? There's a 10 there, so I don't think it's going to be an error on E3. No, it won't. So it's simply a pop-up right up the chute, and Skaggs will field it, no problems whatsoever. One away. Hello, Mr. Al. It's not a Red Sox game, but glad we have 2 Red Sox fans at least that are in here watching. It is the AL East for one of the teams anyway. Tabby does say hello, Al, although she's in the other room right now. She might scratch on the door later. Right now, Alan Bannister, with 1 out, is going to go against Mr. Grimsley. 1-7. 1-7 is going to be a single. So how about that, Alan Bannister? Now, I have not done a lot of stealing with the Sox because they're just a team that doesn't steal a lot, and they don't have a lot of good runners to steal with. So I could try to steal with Bannister, but I don't think it'd be very fruitful. I tried to steal with Chet Lemon in the last game against the Yankees offline, and he got caught stealing. So it really did not work to their benefit. So we'll see if we can do a little pounding. They haven't been the hitmen lately. All right, here is George Orta. And maybe he ought to do something. 5-5 against Grimsley. He did. He hit into a double play. 4-6-3. Just what the Sox, the way their luck has been going. The dice have not been kind, in particular, to them. So that's going to do it for the Sox. That double play is going to end whatever potential threat they thought they might have. And Grimsley, an easy 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the first, and it'll be Steve Stone on the mound for the Sox. Steve Stone on the season, in the 77 season, was 15-12, 4.51 ERA. All right, Al Bumry will lead things off for the Orioles. Let's go through their lineup very quickly. Bumry's in center, Dowers at second, Singleton's in right, Lee Mays at first, Eddie Murray's the DH, Andre Mora is in left field, Doug DeCinces is at third, Mark Belanger the shortstop, and Dave Skaggs, giving Rick Dempsey the day off, is doing the catching for Steve Stone. All right, here's Bumry. We get a 2-5 for Bumry, and that's a solid double to lead things off for Al Bumry. So Earl Weaver very happy right now with that leadoff double. He's a B stealer, so he will have to be held. And here's Rich Dower. 4-4 against Stoney is a ground ball shortstop X. That's never good because that means you're looking at Alan Bannister, who was an E4. I'm sorry, he's a 4 and an E48. So if they don't get you on the range, they're probably going to get you on the air. So it's just the way the Sox are. 4 E48. 4 and an 8. 4 and an 8 is a G3, so he does get to it, but the runner will advance, and the error check is a 14. So an E48, shortstop with an E48 rating, is there a 14? No, there's a 15, a 16, and 18, but no 14. So fortunately, Bannister makes the play, but Bumry will go to third base despite the ball being hit to short because of that G3 rating. So Rich Dower does his job, gets the runner over, even though he did not hit it to the right side of the infield the way he's supposed to. But that's going to put the runner at third with 1 out, and the way the Sox lack of offense has been going lately, they're going to play the infield in, try to choke that runoff. Here's Ken Singleton. Tough guy to play the infield in on. 1-6, well, it won't matter. He singles. So Singleton lives up to his name with a single, and the Orioles take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the first. And the hitman, Bob Lemon, doesn't know what's going on here. Earl Weaver's just laughing it up in the dugout. Singleton be held. Here's Lee May, first base. He's usually the DH, but he switched with Murray today. 4-5 on Steve Stoney is another ground ball shortstop X, and again, that's Alan Bannister getting the call. 4 E48. 4 to 10, he'll get to it. A 4 and a 10 this time is another G3, so the runner will advance again, and that's a 10, so no error on a 10, but it will be a 6-3 ground out with Singleton going to second base. So Singleton makes it to second, and with 2 outs, a run in, that brings up Eddie Eat, Drink, and Be Murray. First base is open, but they're not going to walk Murray. They're going to take their chances. 6-9, switch hitter batting left against Stone is a fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So I guess the Sox were lucky to get out of that with just 1 run allowed. Could have been worse, but Stoney was able to pitch out of it. Fortunately, no errors on the play, even though there were 2 X checks on the very poor fielding Bannister. So 1 inning is in the books. The O's, and here's Richie Zisk leading things off here against Grimsley. He's been struggling lately. He could really use a couple of hits here. 6-8 against a righty for Grimsley, and he's going to do it. 1-3 is a triple. 4-20 is a single. So 4-20 is a single for Richie Zisk. And that's exactly what he has, a leadoff single for Richie Zisk. Of course, he's an E-stealer, so he won't even think about running. He tried to steal 4 times, got caught all 4 times. So obviously he's not going anywhere. He will not be held. Here is Lamar Johnson, DH. 1-8 against the lefty. That's a single 2 stars. Single 2 stars. And maybe the Sox have some kind of rally going here. Runners are at the corners now with nobody out. So if they can't score now, I don't know what to tell you. The Orioles will play the infield at double play depth. They'll give up the run to get the double play. Here's Soderholm, and Johnson will not be held at first. That's a 4-2. 4-2 against a right-hander. Fly ball center field B. That's a good enough for a sacrifice fly by Soderholm. And we got a tie game. So Soderholm picks up the runner at third, Richie Zisk, and we're tied at 1. And Tabby has come in and joined us. So let's get a meet and greet before it's all over. There she is. She got her fur cut, so she's a little shy about being on the camera. But there she is, and try to help me out. And she's a little shy now. She didn't want to get in front of the camera with her getting her summer cut. She doesn't like it, but that's okay. She's still sitting here, and now she got mad. She's going away. Oh well. What are you gonna do? That was her cameo. Just for you, Al. That's her cameo. All right, here we go. So after the sacrifice fly, Johnson's at first with 1 out and 1 run in. He's not being held. Chet Lemon. 310 against the lefty. It's a ballpark single check. If we were doing super advanced, we're not. It's just a ground ball to pitcher fielder's choice. So that's going to go 1-4 on the fielder's choice. Lemon takes over. Now Lemon on the season stole 8 bases, got caught 7 times. I tried to steal with him in the previous game. He got caught stealing, so I'm leery about stealing him now. But let's check the catcher rating, Skaggs. See what his arm rating is. Skaggs' arm rating is a -1, so that doesn't help either. He's a C stealer. It's just not worth it. So we're not gonna try it. We're gonna see if Jim Spencer can hit one out of the park. That's the best way. But Lemon will be held. 4-2. 4-2 is a ground ball to first, and Lee May steps on the bag to end the inning. But we are tied at a run apiece. Oh, my messy score sheet here. We are tied at a run apiece thanks to the sacrifice fly turned in by Eric Soderholm. And we go to the bottom of the second. 1-1 is our score. And Andre Mora. I may not know that much about Andre Mora, but he's playing left field today. In 77, he did have 233 at-bats and hit 245 with 13 homers, so he's got some pop. And mostly against lefties, but Earl's got him in there today against Stoney the righty. Here's Mora. 5-11 against Stone, and that's a in-home run chance, which he certainly has the in-home run power. 1-12, and Andre Mora has gone deep and put the Orioles back out in front. It's a 9. It is long and it is gone. Earl Weaver was concerned, but now he's feeling better since he's got that lead back thanks to the Mora home run. He said, give me some more Mora. So there's one away for Doug DeSensei. 2-9 for DeSensei. He's going to ground to second. Orta will make the play. 1 down, and that brings up the Blade, Mark Belanger. 5-12, and that's a fly to left for out number 2. It would have been a ballpark home run check on Super Advanced, but of course we're not doing that. So there's 2 down, and the catcher, Dave Skaggs. Skaggs, 5-10. Skaggs is a righty. 5-10 is a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. But the home run by Mora has put the Orioles back out in front 2-1. So Steve Stone bitten by the gopher ball. And when his team gets him a run, he gives it right back. So now Ross Grimsley is to come out. He's got a fatigue of 5, so he may need some early relief, whereas Stone can go 7. We'll see how it plays out. Here's Jim Essien, the catcher. 5-11 against a righty, and that's a base hit. There's no ballpark single check to make in advance. That's just a single all the way. Of course, Essien's an E. He will not be held. Now here's Ralph Garr. He could bunt and try to depend on the rest of the team, but his column 3 looks awful good. But you know what? They're struggling, so they're going to have him bunt. He's a B bunter. He becomes a C bunter. Oh, that's not good. A 12. Probably shouldn't have bunted. So we'll go to the advanced bunt chart. A C and a 12. It says batter pops out into a double play. Lead runner is doubled off. So go. Try to bunt and be creative, and it just doesn't work. That 12 on the D6 kills you. It's a pop-up right to Skaggs, and Skaggs throws down to first to double off Essien. So that's going to be a pop-up to the catcher, and then a 2-3 double play. So what are you going to do? Now, if Garr hits into a double play, then you go say, why didn't you bunt? So what are you going to do? All right, here is Bannister. 2 outs, bases clear, 6-7. 6-7 is a ground ball second base X, and second baseman for the Orioles is Dower. And Dower, as we look at his chart, Dower is a 3E17. So a 3E17 for Dower. 3 and a 5. 3 and a 5 is a G3. He will get to it. There is a total of 13 for the E17. So at second base, there is no 13, so it's a good play. Rich Dower is able to make the play and end the inning with no damage done by the Sox. And we go to the bottom of the third. It is still 2-1 in favor of the O's. And I know with doing May Madness and some other things, I'd really kind of put this replay on the back burner. It's been going on for too long now, and I'm like, I really just need to buckle down and finish this so I can go on to bigger and better things. Still doing the 84 inside pitch replay using PC Replay Baseball to sim the other games. So that's still going on. And then I may have something going on down the road. We shall see. All right, so Al Bumry leads things off here against Stone. He doubled and scored his first trip. 5-7 against Stoney, and that's a possible another double. No, it's sorry, it's 6-7. 5-7's a walk. I got to make sure I use the right column. That's why I've used the pen to point, in case you're wondering, because it kind of keeps me from reading the wrong result. So it's a walk. Now he's a B stealer, and Essien's a 0 arm. So B is a 13, -3 for being held a 10. 50-50 shot if Bumry wants to steal. He stole 19, got caught 8 times. Earl Weaver, not that big of a guy to run, but maybe go ahead and give Bumry a chance. 1 to 10, he makes it. And he does. So stolen base for Bumry. So very un-Earl-like, but he gets the stolen base, gets in the scoring position. He will now have to be held. And here's Rich Dower. He was at second base, right, just like he was last time. Here's Dower, 3-2. 3-2 for Dower. Hit by the pitch plus injury. We're not doing injuries because it's an as-played replay, but it is a hit by pitch. So Stone, a little wild there, puts 2 on, nobody out. He's in trouble. Down 2-1 already. Here's Singleton. Infield double play depth. Bumry is being held. 4-6 for Singleton. Switch hitter batting left. That's a pop out to second. So infield fly rule. 1 away, and that's going to help Stoney quite a bit. Now a double play gets him out of the jam. Here's Lee May. 6-6, and that's a walk, so that doesn't help him. That's going to load the bases. So they got the bases loaded, and not a single hit has been made. It's been 2 walks and a hit by pitch that has caused the bases to be loaded with 1 out for Eddie Murray, the dangerous Eddie Murray. Eddie Eat, Drink, and Be Murray. Still going to play double play depth. Trying to get out of it. 1-7 for Murray. Fly ball center field B. He had a lot of hits in column 1, but in this particular spot with a 7, it's a fly center field B question mark, so there's no guarantee that it's going to be a sac fly. That question mark. We go to the runner at third, and that is Bumry, who's got good speed. Bumry's a 17. You add 2 to that to make it a 19, and then the center fielder arm Lemon is a 0. So basically a 1 to 19 he makes it, and a 20 he's out. And he makes it. So it's a sacrifice fly for Eddie Murray. And that puts another run on the board for the Orioles. They now lead it 3-1. And the way the White Sox anemic offense has been lately, that might be enough to get them by. And now they got to deal with Andre Moore, who homered his last time up. Dower at second. Let's see if he's being held. He is not being held. He's an E-Stealer, so nobody's being held on base. Double play depth, Andre Moore. We get a 2-5. 2-5 for Moore. Struck him out. So a little bit of revenge there for Steve Stone to strike out Moore. And that brings up the Sensei with 2 outs and 2 on. And 1 in. 5-7. 5-7 struck him out. He's not tired. The dot's there, but he's not tired. So how about that? The Orioles have a single run in each inning, as they're just death by 1,000 paper cuts. Makes it 3-1. And now Ross Grimsley gets to enjoy that 2-run advantage. And he'll be facing George Orta. And Orta hit into the double play his last time up. Can't do that this time. 1-9. But he might get a double. Not a double play, but he might get a double. 1-15 is that double. 16-20 is a single. That's a 19. That's just the way the luck's been going. Instead of a double, it's only a single. Just the dice just have not been cooperative. He is a D-Stealer. He will not be held. And here's Richie Zisk. 1-8 for Zisk. 1-3 is a single. Anything else, he grounds to second with the runner advancing. And he does. Did I give him 4 outs in the third? No, I didn't give. Yeah, I did. You know what? I sure did. I got to go back and replay the Sensei's at bat. Thank you for catching that. So let me go back and do that. So the Sensei will have to lead off. Fortunately, it didn't cause him any extra runs. Good catch. Thank you for pointing that out. 19, of course, on Zisk. Now I lost track of where I was. Hold on. 1-5. Oh, wait a minute. 19. I was checking Zisk for something, and now it was the 1-3. So he grounds to second. That's what I was doing. All right, ground to second. Runner does advance though, because it's a ground ball C. Ground ball C. So, runner's at second now with 1 out for Lamar Johnson. Runner still not being held. Johnson 5-10, and that's a walk. So that's going to put runners at first and second. First and second, both slow runners. But here's Soderholm. One big blow could give the Sox the lead. 3-5 for Soderholm. It's a ground ball to second. The runner will advance. It's a ground ball C, so the runners will advance. But now we got second and third with 2 outs for Chet Bitter Lemon. See if he can make Bitter Lemon bitter. 5-4 for Grimsley. That's a ground ball third base X. And the ground ball third base X, we're going to turn to the Sensei. And the Sensei has a defensive rating of 2E22. So a 2E22 for the Sensei. Oops. 2 and a 9, he'll get to that. And the 13 on a E22. There's a 12, 14, and a 16, and a 15, but no 13. So the Sensei is up to the task. Makes the catch, throws to first, and the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the fourth, and it will actually be the Sensei leading off since he erroneously had an at-bat previous inning. So no harm, no foul, I guess. He will come back out and face Steve Stone. And Stone's going to try to put a 0 on the board. He's given up 3 single runs in a row. The Sensei 6-3 against Stone. Fly ball left field X. That is going to be Ralph Garr. Ralphie Boy. Defensively for Ralphie Boy. Ralphie Boy checks in as a 4E4. 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 4 and a 12. I think he'll actually get to that. Let's check the chart. 4 and a 12. Ooh, F1. He just does get to it. Okay, and an 11 on an E12. No 11, so it's good play for George Orta. I'm sorry, for Ralph Garr. Good play for Ralph Garr. 1 away. And here's Mark Belanger. 5-4. Steve Stone. 5-4 is a ground ball third base X. That's Soderholm. And Soderholm checks in as a 2E11. 2 and a 3 is troublesome. 2 and a 3. No, he will get to it on a 2 and a 3. It's a G3. E11 and a 10 should not be a problem, and it is not. So that's going to be 2 down. 2 up, 2 down, and that brings up Dave Skaggs. 1-7 for Skaggs. Ground ball to third. This time much easier for Soderholm. And Steve Stone does get that 0 on the board. About time. And at the end of 4, it is 3-1 in favor of Earl Weaver's bunch from Baltimore. Grimsley now starting the 5th. This is his point of weakness inning because he has a 5 right here. So we'll definitely keep track of him and see what he gives up, if anything, this inning. He's going to face the powerful Jim Spencer to lead things off, and he's got a really good column 1 on both sides. 2-7 though against the lefty. He's going to ground to second, and Rich Dower will handle that with no problems. 1 away for Jim Essien, the catcher. He singled and got doubled off on a failed sacrifice his first time. 5-5, and that's a ground ball short, so easy play for Belanger. 2 up, 2 down, and we're back to the top of the order in Ralphie Boy. 3-7 for Ralphie Boy against Grimsley. That's a base hit, so Gar with a 2-out single, but again, if the catcher was not quite a good arm, I would try it, but I don't think it's feasible. If you try it with Gar, boy, you're really asking for trouble. Way less than 50-50 chance. So we're going to go ahead and he'll be held, but he won't go anywhere. And here's Bannister. 4-4, and that's ground ball third base X. So that's the Sensei again. And the Sensei, as before, checks in as a 2E22. 2 and a 20, obviously we'll get to that. And a 7 on an E22 is not a problem. So good play for the Sensei. And the inning is over. All right, so the woes continue for the Sox offensively. Hitmen just aren't hitting. Of course, they're now hitting some good teams as well, the Yankees and the Orioles. That might have something to do with it. Al Bumry will lead things off for the O's. Bumry has doubled and walked, stole a base, and scored 2 runs. Just what a leadoff hitter is supposed to do. 5-4 against the lefty is a ground ball third base X. That's Soderholm again. He's a 2E11. 2 and 18, he'll get to that. E11 and a 13 is okay. It has to be a 15 or a 17 to be an error for that. So it's a good play for Mr. Soderholm. 1 away. Bumry retired. Here's Rich Dower. He is grounded to short and been hit by a pitch. 5-5 against Stoney. Struck him out. He's not tired yet, so the dot doesn't matter. 2 down for Singleton. He is singled and popped to second. 2-8. He will fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So Stone may be getting his second wind, but it may be too late. They're down 3-1 as we go to the 6th. Grimsley, of course, has the 5 fatigue, but he's only given up 1 hit, so he's still good to go. He's not fatigued yet until he gives up that combination of 4 over 2 innings. So here's George Orta. He ought to do something. 6-10. 6-10 is a fly ball center field X, and that's going to be Bumry. And Bumry checking in at a 4E4. So a 4E4 for Al Bumry. Surprised his range is so bad. 4-9 on the outfield range play. 4-9. A 4-9 is going to be a single, 2 stars, but nobody's on base. There's a 6. There's a 6, but I don't think he has any issues there on an E4. Nope, no issues there, but it will drop in. So Bumry, maybe not the range he used to have back in his younger days, I guess. I didn't think he was that old in 77. He maybe just had a bad year. All right, so Orta's aboard. He's not even going to think about stealing. He's a D stealer. He will not be held. And here's Richie Zisk. 5-2 against, and that would be a ballpark home run chance if we were doing super advanced. But unfortunately we're not, so it's just a fly to left. Handled by Mora, 1 away, and that brings up Lamar Johnson, the DH right-handed version. He's singled and walked. 6-9, that's an in-home run chance, 1-11. 12-20 is a double, but a home run here, and we have a tie ball game. 1-11, it's tie game. And of course it's not. That's just the way the D20's been rolling here. It's a double. So we don't even know if Order is going to be able to score. And the way the dice have been, you don't want to get guys thrown out on the bases when you're behind. Now Order was not being held though, so it's a good advantage for him. He runs at a 17, not being held makes him an 18. And the left fielder arm, Mr. Mora, his arm in left field is a +1, so that's even going to add one more to Order. So that makes him a 19, so they will send him. 19, anything other than 20, he makes it. And he does. So the double does score the run. Sox cut the lead to 3-2. So even though he's not a good base stealer, his run rating was pretty high, so that allowed him to score. On the RBI double by Lamar Johnson is 3-2. And now one more batter reaching base, and Grimsley will hit fatigue. And he's going to face Soderholm, his sacrifice fly and ground to second. And forgot to move the D20. 2-6. 2-6 for Soderholm. It's a solid home run, a 3-run shot. Or 2-run shot, rather. 2-run shot for Soderholm. And the hitmen finally coming to life. And the Sox have the lead by the score of 4-3. And that's going to do it for Mr. Grimsley as Earl Weaver lights up another Chesterfield. He will make that slow trek to the mound, and Mr. Grimsley will be out of there. So coming in for the Orioles will be long relief man Dennis Martinez. Dennis Martinez, no relation to Tippy. But Dennis Martinez is on, and Grimsley ends up going 5 1/3 innings, and he ends up facing 24 batters, and I'll do the rest later. But right now he is responsible for 4 runs, all earned, including a dinger. All right, so Dennis Martinez is on to try to stop the bleeding as Grimsley heads to the showers. And here is Chet Lemon. Lemon, fielder's choice, ground out, and a ground out to third. 0 for 2. That's a 2-6 for Lemon against a righty. It's a ground ball to short. And that's handled over there by Belanger. 2 down, 2 down now with 3 in. And here's Spencer. 4-7 against a lefty. 1-5 is a single. Anything else, he will line it right to Dower. And Dower snags it to end the inning. So Martinez gets out of any further trouble, but the 3 runs here in the 6th, and all of a sudden Steve Stone is perked up. He's got a 4-3 lead to protect. And his fatigue is only a 7, so he can still go a little bit further. And they need it because they used some relief pitchers in that blowout last time. Although Jack Cusick did pitch 3 innings to burn some innings, so that helped. Here's Lee Mays, grounded to short and walked. That's a 4-6 against Stoney. That's a fly to center. So 1 away for Eddie E. Drinkin' B. Murray. He is fly to left and hit a sacrifice fly to center. 4-4, switch hitter, 4-4, ground ball shortstop X, and we're right back into that abyss known as Alan Bannister. He's a 4E48 once again. 4-12, 4-12, he'll get to it. E48 and 10, there's no 10, so it's a good play. Good play all day long for Bannister. He had to avoid a 12 and a 15. That's what the big errors were. And a 10 definitely does that. So here's Andre Mora, homered and struck out. Feast or famine, 3-9, 3-9. He's got a chance for another home run. Do you believe that? Andre Mora can do it again. 1-18, and he will do it again. And he does. Andre Mora. And Earl Weaver wants some more of Samora. Some more here. And it is now a 4-4 ball game. We are all tied here at Memorial Stadium thanks to Andre Mora. Here's the sensei. He's 0 for 2. Almost 0 for 3 because he had that false strikeout. 1-11 against a righty. He's going to foul it out to Soderholm to end the inning. But there you go. After 6 complete, it is 4-4. 4-4. And now the game is turned over to Dennis Martinez, so that means that Ross Grimsley is taken off the hook for the loss. Game now is in the hands of Dennis Martinez and Steve Stone. So Jim Essien will start the top of the 7th. Keep in mind, we are at Memorial Stadium, so Harry Carey did not make the trip, obviously. So there will be no singing, unless Steve Tower's still watching and wants to play a ukulele in the background. All right, here is Jim Essien, 3-5, and that's a single. How about that? Jim Essien, a leadoff single. to get things going. He's an E-stealer. He will obviously not go anywhere. Now Gar, we tried to bunt with him last time and he bunted into a double play, so I'm not going to get fooled again, as the Who sang one time. So we're going to go ahead and try swing away, see what happens. 1-2. 1-2 for Gar is a fly to left. Would have been a ballpark home run check, but obviously we're not doing that. So it's a fly to left, and there's one away. One down, and that brings up Alan Bannister. We get a 3-6 for Bannister, and that's a 1-2 home run chance. So only a 10% chance for a homer, but you never know. And we got a 13, so that's going to be a fly to right. And that's 2 away. And let's see here. That's going to take us to George Orta. He is 2 for 3, 2 singles, and grounded to a double play. Orta 3-5, he will walk. So that keeps the inning going. Puts 2 on with 2 outs for Richie Zisk. Pitch to Zisk at your own risk. Martinez will do so. 5-11. 5-11 is a ground ball first base X. That's Lee May. Not exactly a Gold Glover out there. Lee May at first base checks in as a 4-E-8. Better than Murray, but that's not saying a whole lot. 4-E-8. 4-20, he'll get to it. E8 though in a 14, I'm sorry, E8 and a 16 could be trouble. E8 and a 16, and it is trouble. It's an error. It's a 1 base error. E8 on the first baseman. You got 15, 16, and 17 are errors. That's a 16. So an E3, 1 base error is going to load the bases. So the bases are now loaded for Lamar Johnson. Now they could pinch hit for Johnson with Oscar Gamble, but he's got a pretty good card against righties too. So we're going to save Gamble in case he's needed for later on. But key spot here, bases loaded, 2 outs, tie game, top of the 7th, tied at 4. Lamar Johnson, the DH, against Dennis Martinez. And Johnson has a good day. He singled, walked, and doubled. 5-6, but this time he grounds to short. And they leave him loaded. And that's going to take us to the 7th inning stretch with the score tied at 4 apiece. And Steve Stone will now enter his potential weakness inning, because he has rated as a 7 for his fatigue. So we'll see what happens there. He's going to face the bottom of the order, Belanger, Skaggs, and Bumry. Belanger, 5-7 against Stone, is a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. He hasn't given up the hits to be tired yet, so it's going to stick. And here's Dave Skaggs. 2-3 for Skaggs. He's going to ground to short, so Bannister makes that no problem. And Stoney seems like he's gotten his footing since those early innings. Here's Al Bumry. 2-8 for Bumry is a 2-out single though. So now Bumry, does he try to steal again? He could. He already stole a base in the 3rd. That would get him into scoring position if they wanted to try it. He is a B stealer. He's being held, so that makes him a 10. 1-10. So Earl's going to try it. 1-10, he's safe. And he is, so it's another stolen base for Bumry. Trying to be fair to both teams. I don't want to just play for the Sox. I'm playing for both teams equally. So Bumry's aboard at second base in scoring position with 2 outs for Rich Dower. 5-11, and that's a single to center field. So very well could score the run. Bumry was being held, but he runs so well it may not matter. Being held makes him a 16, but there's 2 outs, makes it an 18. Center fielder arm is a 0, so 1-18, and he will score. And he does, barely, but he does. The 2-out boost gave it to him. So RBI single for Dower, and the Orioles have reclaimed the lead 5-4. And Steve Stone may be on his last leg. Here's Ken Singleton. Dower is at first, and he's an E-stealer, so he will not be going anywhere. 2-9 for Singleton, and 2-9's a strikeout to end the inning. So Orioles reclaim the lead 5-4 after 7 complete. And that might be all for Stoney. I think they may go ahead and make the move and bring in someone else. But Dennis Martinez is going to stay in for the Orioles. He's been effective. He's going to be facing Soderholm. Soderholm will step up. He homered last time up. Had that big 2-run homer. 5-5 against Martinez. Ground ball shortstop X. That is Belanger. And Belanger checks in as a 1 E14. So since he's a 1, we don't need to roll the D20. We know he's going to get to it. Just checking for the error. E14 and 11 should be no problem. It is no problem. You have to have a 4 or a 15 to be an error. So it's a good play for Mr. Belanger. And there's one away for Chet Lemon. Chet Lemon, 310 for Lemon, and he's going to ground it to first. That'll be handled by Lee May. 2 down. 2 down. And let's see here. That brings up Jim Spencer. So 2 down, bases clear for Spencer. He is 0 for 3. And that brings up 3-9 for Spencer, and he grounds to second. And unfortunately, 1, 2, 3 go the Sox. So not what they were hoping for right there. But we go to the bottom of the 8th, and there will be a new pitcher for the White Sox, and it will be Laren LeGros, who's usually their closer, but he hasn't pitched in a couple days, so they're going to bring him in just for this 1 inning. Try to keep things close. Stoney goes 7 innings, faces 30 batters. I'll do the rest later. But he trails 5-4. That's the big thing. And Lee May steps to the plate, the first baseman. He is 0 for 3. I'm sorry, 0 for 2. Grounder to short, walk, and a fly to center. That's a 5-7 against LeGros, and he struck him out. So Laren LeGros gets the strikeout right there. And now that brings up Eddie Murray. He's been quiet. He does have a sacrifice fly, but hasn't done much else. 3-9. 3-9 for Murray. He flies to left, 2 down. And now that brings up the man of the hour, Andre Moore. He's got 2 home runs. He is the MVP of the game right now. 2 solo shots. See if he can make it a third. I don't know. I don't know if I've ever had 3 home runs in a game before. 2-9. Well, it won't happen. It's a strikeout. So we go to the 9th. And you think about bringing in Tippy Martinez, but I tell you, Dennis Martinez has pitched so well, I hate to take him out. Even though, you know, logic would dictate you bring in your closer. Dennis Martinez did have 4 saves on the season, so I'm going to leave him in there unless he gets in trouble. Now, Tippy Martinez is in the bullpen warming up just in case. Now, the Sox are scheduled to lead off Jim Essien, but we've saved Oscar Gamble for this occasion. So Oscar Gamble, the pinch hitter, 1 swing of the bat can tie the game for the Sox, so they got to bring in their power guys, try to get that long ball. So Oscar Gamble will pinch hit for Essien, and should the game go to the bottom of the 9th, they can always bring Brian Downing in to catch. So we got Gamble, Garr, and Bannister, although Bannister is subject to be pinch hit for as well, as Wayne Nordhagen has picked up a bat, and he may very well pinch hit. They can use Kessinger at short if they need to, if it goes that far. All right, right now, it's Mr. Gamble. We're taking the gamble on Gamble against Dennis Martinez. 3-8. 3-8 is a walk. So I guess, so to speak, the gamble paid off. But we're going to get a pinch runner for Gamble. He's an E-stealer, so let's see if we can find anybody that's got any speed, because that represents a tying run. They don't have a whole lot. There's not really any base-stealing threats on the White Sox. So let's see. Gamble runs at a 14. That's probably as well as anybody that's on the bench. Actually, that's better than anybody on the bench. So we're going to leave Gamble in there. He just won't be held because he's the E-stealer. And now that brings up Garr. And again, you would normally think you could bunt here, but especially on the road, I think you go for the win. So Gamble's going to swing away against Dennis Martinez. That's a 6-6. Oh, look at that. Maybe they need to bring in Tippy. Look at that. 6-6 against the lefty. 1-8 is a triple. 9-20 is a double. This could tie the game right here. 1-8 definitely would do it. It's a 1. It's a triple for Ralph Garr. Lead 1 out, or nobody out in the top of the 9th. And he triples in the pinch hitter Gamble to tie the score at 5. And I think that's going to be all for Dennis Martinez. He is now going to leave as Earl Weaver makes the trek to the mound. And even though a right-hander is coming up, they're going to the bullpen for the lefty. And that lefty will be, actually it won't be a lefty, it'll be a right-hander, Dick Drago. Dick Drago came over from the Angels mid-season. So Dick Drago is on. Dick Drago, the right-hander, is on. Maybe went 1 or 2 batters too long with Martinez, but he was pitching so well, I hated to take him out. But that's just the way it goes. Okay, so runner at third. Infield is going to obviously have to play in. Ala Bannister is the batter. They could pinch hit for Bannister, and I think they will. They're going to bring in Wayne Nordhagen. Although Nordhagen doesn't do well against righties, so let's see. Would I rather have, you know what? We're going to save Nordhagen for a lefty. So we're going to leave Bannister in there. All right, here we go. Drago, infield in. 5-6 off of Drago, and Bannister's done it again. 1-3 is a triple, 4-20 is a single, so the Sox will reclaim the lead either way. And that is a single, but that is enough to get Gar home from third. And the Sox now have taken the lead, and now Dennis Martinez is on the hook for the loss, potentially. It's 6-5 Sox. Come back here in the ninth. All right, here's George Orta. And at Bannister at first will not be held. Here's Orta. 3-7 for Orta is a fly to center. And that's out number one. That brings up Richie Zisk. Been quiet tonight, or today, however you want to look at it. 1-8. 1-8 for Zisk. He strikes out, he's still quiet. So that's 2 down for Lamar Johnson. Lamar Johnson. DH 2-7 for Johnson. That's a single to right field. There's a clutch there, but we're not doing clutch, plus the runner's not in scoring position, so clutch would not even take effect. It is a single to right field. Now, Bannister, not that swift, but he might be able to get to third because he runs at a 17 and he was not being held, makes him an 18. Plus there's 2 outs, makes him a 20. Right fielder Arms Singleton is a -1, makes it a 19. So pretty much they're going to just concede that base to Bannister. So runners are at the corners now with 2 outs for Eric Soderholm. Drago trying to get that last out. 3-8, and he will. It's a ground ball back to Drago to end the inning. But 2 runs for the Sox, and they carry a 6-5 lead into the bottom of the ninth against the Orioles as they try to start this small road trip with a win. LeGros, normally the closer, now has a chance to win the game instead of getting a save. It's to Sensei, Belanger, and Skaggs, but you know they're going to pinch hit for Belanger and probably for Skaggs. Pat Kelly has picked up a bat, and Tony. Let's see. I don't think Tony Musier is going to do it. I think we're going to stick with Skaggs hitting probably. So we're going to go with let's see, DeSensei, and then Kelly's going to pinch hit for Belanger because Belanger was a 206 hitter. So we're going to have Belanger out of there. Is DeSensei, Pat Kelly the lefty, and then Skaggs. So Pat Kelly will pinch hit for Belanger. And since we used a pinch hitter for Essien, we do need to have Brian Downing in the game to catch. So he will take over as the catcher defensively. And now we have DeSensei trying to get it done, down by 1 here in the bottom of the ninth, 7-6, favor of the Sox. DeSensei facing LeGros. 6-5, LeGros, ground ball to short. Ground ball to short. And there's 1 away. So that brings up the pinch hitter, Pat Kelly. And Pat Kelly did have 10 home runs on the season. And his column 1, he's got a couple home run selections. See if he can do it. He's better than Belanger either way. 1-2 is a fly to left. Could have been a ballpark home run check if we were doing super advanced, but we're not. So it's just a deep fly to left that Gar takes care of. And now it's 2 down, bases empty. And here's Skaggs. He's a 280-something hitter, so not going to pinch hit for him, even though he is 0 for 3. They're going to go ahead and stick with him. He does have a good column 3. All right, so here we go. LeGros trying to get that last out. 5-4, ground ball, third base, X. That's Soderholm. He's a 2. Roll that by itself. 2 and a 9. He'll get to it, so it's just a matter now whether it's an error or not. And on an E11, you have to avoid 6, 15, 16, and 17. So basically, don't get a 15, 16, or 17, and the game's over. And he got a 13, so that's a good play. So it's a good play for Soderholm. And the White Sox survive, beating the Orioles by the score of 6-5. Winning pitcher was Laren LeGros. It ends up being Dennis Martinez in relief. I thought he was going to get the save. He ends up getting the loss. And despite 2 home runs from Andre Mora, the Sox were able to do it thanks to the Ralph Gar triple in the top of the ninth. And then the Alan Bannister single that followed gave him those 2 runs in the ninth. Sox with the win in 5 and 57. And the Orioles dropped to 71 and 52. Game 123 is in the books. We're now less than 40 games to finish. We got 39 to go. or maybe 38 to go now, depending on how you want to count it. But anyway, game 124 will be offline against the Orioles again, and then the next game will be whoever the next opponent is. I didn't check. I forgot to look and see who it was. But whoever the next opponent is, that'll be the next video of the Sox. Don't know if it's somebody in the AL East or somebody in the AL West. We'll figure it out later. Thanks to everybody for attending and chatting it up and enjoying a Tuesday afternoon, the last day in June. Don't forget, tomorrow is July 1st, which means this weekend is your July 4th weekend. So hopefully, even though with the COVID and everything, hopefully maybe you can go out and see fireworks and sit in your car or something. I'm not sure how they're going to work that, but I guess the locality is and what their rules are. But I'm sure people will have their own fireworks. I saw at a gas station somebody had fireworks selling them, so I'm sure if I don't even have to open the windows. If it gets loud enough out here, the neighbors will probably have something going on. But and I believe July 4th is also the anniversary back in, I believe, 1983 when Dave Rigetti pitched a no-hitter. I think 83 was the year, but I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, let's go do it here from Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Sox with a comeback win. 2 in the ninth have done it, and they win it 6-5. I'll total all the stuff up on the computer later and figure things out. LeGros gets the win. Dennis Martinez takes the tough loss, and the Orioles drop to 71-52. Sox to 66-57, and break that one-game losing streak where the Yankees just basically tore them a new one. Oh, it was against the Sox, wasn't it? It was against the Red Sox on July 4th. Thought I remembered that. And then, of course, 2 years later or maybe a year later, they turned into a closer. So that's just the way it goes. I think he's still a pitching coach in San Fran right now. So that's going to do it from here. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Tuesday evening. Playing whatever game you choose to play, whether it's baseball, football, wrestling, boxing, basketball, hockey. I've seen a whole bunch. Soccer. Doesn't matter what game engine, whether it's Strat, APA, History Maker, Payoff Pitch, Inside Pitch. They're all good, all fun, and different strokes for different folks, so to speak. So thanks for getting me through this live stream. I'm still not 100% comfortable with live streams. I'm just trying to do it just to be different, and I figure the only way to try to improve is to do them. So there you go. All right, so that's gonna do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of White Sox baseball 1977 style, and hope you stay safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your week and the upcoming weekend. Enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and as usual, I will see you all down the road.